Alright, welcome to my next video. If you saw my previous videos regarding building the rich text editor from scratch, so this would be the continuation of our previous video. So guys, I already added some codes here in our myeditor.js file. So as if you watch the previous videos, we just have this line of elements that we created. We have the bold, italic, underline, and so on, from bold to justify right. And now we added new buttons, or I added new buttons so that we can use more functionalities in our text editor. So we added insert in ordered list and so on. We will discuss each of this. We have insert order list, so this is the number list, and this is the bullet sign, or the bullet, and then we have indent, we have outdent, we have the format block, which is the h1, h2, h3, and 4. So that would be a drop down. As you can see, the type is select, so it would be a drop list, which you can highlight the text, and then if you like to change the format of that text into h1, then you can select h1 on the drop list. And then we have also hr, which is the line, or the horizontal line. We have create link. If you like to create a link, this is very important. Like for example, if you like to create a post and then would like to create a link which is pointing to Facebook or to Google or other websites, then you can use create link. And then if you like to remove the link, you can use unlink. We have also font name, which I stated here. This is a basic font name, which is Arial, Comic Sans, Courier, Georgia, and so on. And then we have also font size, which I stated also, which 1 to 7. And this type of element or select type element, not a button, but it's a drop list or a drop down box. And then we have insert image, and then we have also view source. Insert image, if you like to insert image in our text editor, then you can do that. And then we have also view source if you like to view the source. Like for example, you are updating a content, and then if you like to view the source of the content, if you like to view the tags like div, like bold, justify, and so on, then you can select a button to view the source of the content that you are creating. Yeah, so in our previous video, so we tackled already the container, the iframe that we created, and so on. Now, as I promised, I said in our previous video that we would like to add a functionality to each button. Yes, we did already. Actually, I already added here. I will just explain it to you how it works. Okay, so we have our loop. We display our buttons and so on based on the default elements that we declared above. And then also here we added a title. So once it is executed, each buttons we set it to a title, and then the title is set from the command value, which is this one above, right? So if it's bold, then the value of the title would be bold, and so on, italic, underline, and so on. Okay, so here in our loop, so I have a F statement here, which will check if it's a button, or if the type of the element that we created is a button. So if it's not equal to -1, meaning it is a button. So if it's a button, then we need to create a event handler, which click or unclick, so that once you click the button, it will execute a command. So by the way, guys, don't forget that those lists that we added are from this documentation. So for example, we have insert ordered list, so we have this and so on. So you can just check this documentation. So it's from developermozilla.org and so on. So you can check those documentation. Okay, so let's go back in our loop. So in our loop here, so if it's a button, then we have another code. Here in our code, if it's a button, then we will add a event handler or event listener, which is click. So if I'm going to click that one, I'm going to get the title, because the title is our command. Okay, so if you're going to set a text bold, since our title, we set the title as the command, so bold, so we get the value of that. So we pass it, get attribute title, and pass it to the command variable. Okay, and then here, this is for view source button, so we're going to discuss that one later. So let's move on this first in the else statement. So if it's not source code, so if it's insert image, or if it's a create link, then we will pop up a alert box, which is asking enter your URL or enter your image URLs, and then you can add it in the pop-up box, and then you click OK. But if none of the above, if it's in not in equal to null, and then if it's not from, or if it's not a from, then you can execute the command. To execute a command, you will just need to call the name of your iframe. So the name of our iframe is my rich text editor field. If you will go back at the top, you will see that we set the attribute name my rich text editor field. So you just need to call that one, and then that document, and then you need to execute the command. If it's just a button, then probably the argument would be null, as you can see. If it's just not a insert image or create link, so if not of those, so basically this would be null, and then just execute the command. The command would be, so if it's button, so bold, this would be bold. So the value of the command now will become bold, and then execute automatically, the text would be bold. So that's it how the exec command works. And then if view source, so we created a method here which is exec view source. So if you will check here, we pass the element, and then the content editable, which is our iframe, and then it's if it's false or true, it's if it's show code is false, then show as is, and then if it's true, then show the source of the code in your iframe. So here we have here now, so execute view source command. If it's false, if not show code, so meaning just display the content text, okay, and then get the element by tag name, which is our iframe. You need to get the body and the value, and then pass it to the text content. And then if it's true code, then you just simply reverse, get the text content, and then put it to the HTML or inner HTML as a value, and then it will show as, and then you will notice that there are some tags showing like bold and so on. It's like a row content. Okay, so if it's show code is equal to true, so I will show you later. Okay, so and then after that, if it's not button, since we discussed this already, so we did execute command. So if it's not button, because if you notice in our declaration, we have select, we have drop down types of elements. So not all button, not all what we call these functions or options are button. There are some select, or there are some drop down list. So that's why we need to check that one first. If it's not, or if it's button, then we need to execute it. But if it's not a button, so we go through to our else statement. Now, we need also to check if our element, if this element is a font name, or if this element is a font size. This one is a method which you can check, or I added it below. So just to check if it's true or false. Like for example, if you will read this line of code, is this element is a font name? Something like that. Is this element is a font size? Format block, because we all knew that font name and font size are select element, or a drop down box element. So if it's true, then we simply get the option value. Each of those, it depends of the type. So for example, if it's font name, then it will get the option which are the Arial, the comment, the Courier, and so on, which George, Roman, Verdana. But if it's font size, then you'll get those get value options. And if it's format block, then it will get H1, 2, and 4. H1 to 4. Okay? So loop the value, create an option. Okay? So create this one. And then we can simply append the option, each value, to the node, so that in the drop down it will create another option with the value, and then set the property of the value of the option, this one, and then append it to the select box, or to the drop down. Okay, and then lastly, of course, we have the change, the event handler for the select, which is not on click because it's not a button, but it is a drop down. So the element event handler would be on change. So once you select that one, it will execute command. It depends on the title of the what do we call this one, of the option. Okay, so and then it will execute. I'm not sure, I think I have a bug here, but let's check it later, because since it's option, it should get, yeah, we will check it later. And then we call the name of the text editor, and then we execute the command. And then the value, of course, of the option that you select. Like for example, format block, you would like to change the title into H1. So you will get the value of the selected option, which is H1. So you will pass it here, and then H1 would be applied, something like that. Okay, so those are the method are added in this video. Okay, so we get to save this one. All right, and then we will refresh this one. It will be added in new. Let's adjust this one first. Okay, and then refresh. Okay, so in our index, I added a H1 DIY rich text edit. It should be editor, right? So we added here, as you can see, we have bold and so on. Okay, so this is what I'm saying. This is what I told earlier, that not all buttons, there are some selections, there are some drop downs, which is our format block, your font style. Okay, and then we have our size. Okay, so we have size, and then we have font name. Okay, and then this is our view source. Okay, so here now we can add, maybe we will just adjust the height of our iframe. So we can add it here, content editable height, maybe 400. That's px. Refresh. Okay, let's make it 500. Okay, so it's become more bigger. The height. All right. So, like for example, I would like to add my name. This is John. And no, my name is John. Okay, and then if I'm going to highlight this one, and then I would like to bold, so I can simply click bold. As you can see, my name becomes bold. Okay, and then if I'm going to refresh this one, my name is, and then I'm going to let's say debug, so that you will see that I'm telling you the correct functionality. So let's say here, and then that one, and then I will highlight this and then bold. Oops, second. Let's stop it first. Let's point it in the on click command here. So once I click the button, then we will execute. Okay, and then highlight, or maybe highlight that though, and then click. Okay, as you can see, it stop it here, so it will get the value of the title of this button that we selected, which is the bold. So let's move. See that the get attribute title is bold, since we set the title of this button based on the command, this one. So if I will check here, set title default, and then the value of the command, which is bold, it depends on the element type. Okay, and then bold. So if the command is not view source, to meaning it will pass it here. Okay, so here, and then execute the command bold, and then the argument would be null because it is not a create link or an insert image. So it's just a common command which is just make the text bold. Okay, so as you can see, it is bold now. Okay, and you can also use let's say the quick brown fox jumps over the lazy dog. Okay, and then let's say you will not make, oops, let's stop it here. Okay, so, and then we put underline, superscript, italic, we need to put it to the center, and then if let's check if it's working, justify, left. Okay, that's good, and then let's say and then we make it a bullet, it's working, and then make it right. Okay, and then we will make another one, and then adjust this one is the select that I'm told you earlier. So if it's not a button, so it will go here, it will proceed here. Okay, so the command would be on change. So let's try H2, H3. Okay, so it is working. Let's check the element format block. All right, that's correct, guys. Okay, so it is working, and we have HR, which will create a horizontal line. It's great. And then we have the create link, if you like to create a link. And then for example, you can visit my website, say https codeme1.com, and then we're going to add link to that. Okay, so pop up, this pop up, I think I have a bug here. Create link image, it should not be image, this would be the image, enter image. Anyway, just a text or label. So highlight this one and then put the link, and it will create a link. Now the view source, I told you earlier about the view source, is to check the value behind this display. So if you will click the view source, you will see these are the values behind this display. So basically, this one is what you are going to save in your database is if you're creating a blog, something. Once you click save or submit, of course, the source or the row source would be this one, and this would be the data that you're going to save in your database. Okay, and then the display would be look like this in your browser or in your website. Okay, so this one, so this would be the link. And then image, I added an image here. So image. So let's look for an image. Let, for example, codeme1.com. Going to get my image. It's not here. Maybe in the login admin side. Going to copy that one. Going to copy the address. Then go back to your, let's remove this one. I know, maybe we'll just display and then insert image. Then enter your image URL, this one, and then okay. That would add the image. So it's up to you what image you like to. And then you like to see the view source, of course. Image are here. Okay, it generate image tag and then the source and then the link that we added earlier. Okay, so what else? Okay, and then the size, of course, this one font size, I just added 1 to 7. You can add more if you like. 7, like that. Okay, so I think, yep. So what else? All right, so I think that's all for today. That's all for this video. So we added more functionalities. I explained it to you how it works based on this code. I'm gonna upload this code so that you can download it maybe in this video description, so you can download it and you can create your own, or you can just modify this one to make it more elegant, or it's up to you guys. Better that I just show you the important part and how you start or begin creating a text editor. Not only text editor, maybe you can create more other than text editor or rich text editor based on this code or ideas, okay, that we created. So I guess all the buttons are working. So thank you for watching and don't forget to subscribe. See you in my next video.